Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. "You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you." "Yes, Lord, anything," Isaac's mother begged. "To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son Isaac will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else." "Yes, Lord," she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
Welcome to The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I've played the game a little bit. Apparently I have a file on file 2. Not anymore. I think I'll just do a little series with this. Surely it won't end up being over 1,000 episodes long. Of course not. Let's get right into it, though. For those that don't know, Isaac is a roguelike game. I don't really have much else to say about it. You'll learn more about it as we play. You play as Isaac, as the starting character, using your tears to kill the various enemies that stand in your way of escape. I think that'll do it. This isn't going to be a tutorial by any means. This is just me really, it's just an excuse to play Isaac. I felt like playing it, and I figured if I'm recording it while I play it, it's not a waste of time. So this is just going to be a series that I'm going to post really whenever I'm just feeling in the mood to play some Isaac. It's an easy game to play a ton of. Oh, come on. And just kind of chill and play. If I have something I want to talk about while I'm playing it, I will. And other than that, it's just going to be a chill time. Maybe I'll finally 100% a save file. That's another thing about Isaac is you have to 100% all the save files to get actually 100%. Don't expect that. Simply put, that's not going to happen. Love the game, but I couldn't see myself sinking thousands of hours into it, unlike a few other games. It's fun, but it's just not quite my thing. All these tears ups, though, are going to be great. Yeah, no, Isaac is really just going to be kind of my chilling game. And speaking of that, I just got back from like a short little trip out of province, which means that I now have to quarantine for 14 days, because COVID is still very much at large. And though it's unfortunate that I now am stuck inside for a bit, it's all right. It gives me some extra time to play some games and just kind of relax a bit. I'm probably going to be spending some of that time working on a game project that I had forever ago, and then I ended up putting it off. And it's just getting back into it. It's just the hardest thing I find. Actually doing a project, I find, isn't that hard, but like starting a project and then taking a break from it and getting back into it, I find is just the most difficult thing in the world. And it's not even, like, the code's fairly well documented. I know exactly what everything does, I just can't bring myself to really get working on it. So I was thinking next day or so, I'm just gonna have to put some time to the side and just sit down and force myself to work on it for at least a little bit. Just to make some amount of progress and get back into things. It was originally going to be part of my portfolio for a school that I'm hoping to get into. But I was forced to apply a little bit sooner than I had anticipated, so it didn't quite make the cut. And I'm actually still waiting to hear back from them. I'm hoping to get in. It's a programming course for just game design and stuff like that. It's one of the larger private schools here in BC. Vancouver Film School. Here's hoping. Should hear back from them sometime this week, they was saying, so high hopes. Until then, I'm just, well, I guess I'll play some Isaac. Don't have any key. I was really hoping I could get this item room on this floor. Always makes me sad when I miss an item room. Notably, I just realized I don't have, I don't have a devil deal. And I'm not sure why that's the case. Because I didn't take any damage. Like, I didn't take any red heart damage. Oh god. So I'm not sure why I don't have a devil deal chance at all. Maybe it's something I took. I just didn't realize I owned it for myself. Oh man, it is weird. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I didn't get that, but that's fine. I gotta say, it's weird only having to go to Mom's Heart. Or not even Mom's Heart, just Mom. Because in Isaac, as you progress through the game, more floors and bosses that you have to defeat become available. And I've been at a point in the game for quite a while now where I had to defeat every boss every time, so it's going to be quite interesting stepping back into Isaac, what it originally was, and just the 6 floors. Ow. God. Stupid crack spiders. Look at them. Just kind of seeing how it goes. Well, I didn't kill the boss in under a minute. And I'm on caves 1, not basement 1. So that's not going to help me. The mod in the top, the information in the top left is a mod that I have installed. It just basically tells me what items do. My memory's bad enough as it is, and with like 700 items or something dumb like that in the game, I can't be asked to remember them all. So a mod will do it for me. You might think it's cheating. That's fine, because I don't really care. It helps me enjoy the game more than I would if I didn't have it installed. And that's really all that matters. I don't really quite have 15 coins, so I don't think I'm going to pop into the shop. Though, thinking about it, I remember the shop's garbage early on in the game, because you don't really have, like, much variety, so maybe I'll pop in anyways. just to see what they got. Maybe donate some to the donation machine if I get lucky. Start getting that up. Has anyone ever played the Binding of Isaac board game? Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. It's an absolute blast of a game. It's a really, really unique adaptation. It's a deck builder game, but instead of kind of building up one massive deck, it's a very small deck that you have with you, and you're building up your character. So you start as a specific character, like let's say Eve or Isaac. You know, we have Isaac, so let's say Isaac. Sure, might as well buy that in case I get an active item. So yeah, let's say Isaac, and then the goal of the game is to get 4 souls, and you get souls by killing boss monsters in the game, like Gertie here. But it's a super fun game because it's really dynamic, and you can really sabotage the other players, which is, you know, it's made for some angry tables before, but I think it just adds so much to the game itself. It's just a super fun time. I want to kill this guy. But a recent little story from it is I was playing, and my girlfriend just recently bought new metal dice for D&D. Because what else is there to do in D&D except buy expensive dice? And she bought the dice, and I was rolling with it, because you roll a d6 to attack. Oh, Bible. Wow, okay. Yeah, you roll a d6 to attack. Nice. And I was rolling hers, and I kept rolling ones. Like, I rolled four ones in a row on her dice, and I was like in between different turns. I just kept rolling ones. It didn't seem like anything I did would change that. And I decided just to keep rolling, just to see how many ones I would get in a row. And I ended up getting 7 ones in a row on her dice. So of course now she thinks it's cursed. Well, I think it's cursed, for God's sake, but it's not a good curse. Because if the dice is actually weighted that badly to 1, that's not something you want to use in D&D. At least with a d6, you're really only going to do an attack, like damage rolls with it on a few different weapons. But it's still just... Sure, why not? But still, Sure. It's kind of upsetting for her to get these brand new dice and then have someone roll 7 ones in a row. And it's, the other player at the time was also rolling. Oh crap! Well, that's okay. That happened. The other player rolled 2 ones before I started rolling ones on it. So it's like especially cursed set of dice. And I have my own metal set of dice. They're kind of like it's like a brown runic. Let's see what this is, because it says this is good. Well, it's not good. Well, it's not bad either, but we'll get Conehead. I can't be bothered to reroll that. That's just, I love it. It's funny. These are like runic dice, and I always joke that they're blessed by the DM's hand, because I always play the Dungeon Master in our D&D group, and they roll very average, honestly, but they definitely do seem to come in clutch once in a while. If I'm like, I need a high roll for one specific reason, and I really shake them up, blow on the dice all 9 yards, it always seems to work. It's just why I say they're blessed. Which, I mean, you know, I'll take that over the cursed 1. Unless they're rolling against me at any point. I don't want any of those. I don't want to see those dice anywhere near me. Awful things. I remember when I first started playing Isaac, and I played the Flash version when it first came out. I couldn't kill Mom. It would take me probably like 10-15 runs to kill Mom just once. And I'll be honest, I'll be real with you, I think not Flash Isaac is easier than Flash Isaac. Now bear with me. Isaac has added a lot of garbage to the game. Like, I love the game, but there's a lot of junk that's kind of dumb, like the Delirium fight and stuff like that, the Void. Which makes the game harder in a way, and there's a lot of junk items in the game. But I want Isaac. You go back and you play Flash Isaac, and you see how awful it runs, and you tell me that this Isaac isn't easier for that one fact. And you're wrong. You lost your goddamn mind. If you think, that Flash Isaac isn't harder because of how poorly it runs. I mean, sure, I see no reason not to. It's just a double item. So at least with this Isaac, you know, you might have 100 useless items. You might have a bunch of dumb boss fights that aren't really that fair. But you know, at least it runs well. Oh crap! Oh, that was close. Okay, I mean, no thanks. If I ever need that, I'll make use of it then. But I don't see any reason to carry that along with me. Maybe if I see a tinted rock, I'll pick it up. Yeah, but For Souls, apparently there's an expansion coming out for it eventually, because there was another Kickstarter or something. Sorry. There is a Kickstarter coming out for an expansion for For Souls, and I'm very excited about that. I think that's going to be a really cool thing, because there's already one expansion for it, but it's pretty small. Adds, like, you know, maybe 50 cards or so, which is substantial, don't get me wrong. I think it's worth it. If anyone's has the base game and is wondering if they should get the expansion, I think it's worth it. Just for some of the variety it adds, but definitely I'd be excited to see another expansion come out. And you know, I think a lot of people kind of slept on it. I didn't really hear much about it when it first came out. I actually found about the game as just at a like a local board game store. When I first found it, I was like, oh, an Isaac game. That's, you know, I like Isaac. I like card games. Well, how could it be any better? And I think it's quite good. It's, you know, it's got some quirks. I don't know, like, objectively how well it's balanced. I think it's pretty good just from the nature of that it's not at all. It's, you know, it's the idea is that since it's so insane, it lends itself to being a more balanced experience, because it's fairly difficult to get ahead. But I mean, with that said, I've also went from dead last to winning in the same round, because I got Bumbo, and once you get enough tokens on it, it lets you attack an infinite amount of times, and it has a few other good effects. Either way, I went from no souls to 4 souls in one round from just constant attacking. Some lucky rolls too, for sure, but I was kind of well slated to attack at the time, and because of that, I completely swept it. Like, 2 people would have won if they just went after me, but because of my Bumbo charge just hitting the correct number, I just absolutely ruined house right at the end. And yeah, it felt great for me, but I imagine it felt very frustrating to the other players. Well, that's something you gotta kind of take into account with games, is that it can be frustrating for the other people if you're so far ahead. It seems like there's nothing you can do. I know, game that's had some conflict in the house. Evolution. It's a very fun game in my opinion. It's a strategy game where you are competing to create creatures to get the most food and to survive. And in the game, there's herbivores and carnivores, as you would assume. And the carnivores eat everything, and herbivores only eat plants. You know, it's basic stuff when you really think about it. But the problem comes from is that if you're get a really, really good carnivore, there's like nothing you can do as a herbivore. You just kind of die. Especially, we have an expansion for it called Evolution Climate. I'm taking way too much damage. Holy shit. But yeah, no, there are Evolution Climates, and it kind of lets you also not only have to worry about food scarcity and carnivores and all that, but now you also have to worry about the actual, like, temperature. And you can, yeah, sure, why not? What's in here? Brilliant. I'll use the Bible more. Yep, okay, good room. And not only is... Yes, sorry. You're now also contending with the climate, and one game I kept forcing it into the cold because no one else could really handle the cold. And beyond that, beyond just making it cold, I was a carnivore. So, the cold reduces how much food you get in the game per round, so all the herbivores were slowly starving to death. And the carnivore, I didn't need any of the green food, right? My food is the red variety, so I just was eating everyone else. And it made this gameplay loop where no one could get a creature up that could survive my creature and the cold. And the game eventually ended with just a meteor crashing into the planet. And no more food appearing, so all of the herbivores went permanently extinct, and because of that, my carnivore went extinct, because there was nothing to eat. So I won the game, but it wasn't particularly satisfying, as no one else could do anything. Like, the last 5-6 rounds was just me winning, and no one else being able to contend it. So that's definitely a frustrating situation for a game now. And it's definitely led to some people not wanting to play Climate Evolution in the house, which is unfortunate because I still think it's a great game. The company that made it also more recently made a game called... Nice, hold on. Let's go see what's up here. They more recently made a game called Oceans, I believe. No thanks. And in that game, it's similar to Evolution, but instead of above land, you're below land. You're in the ocean. And from what I've seen is that it also kind of suffers. I don't own the game. Let me state that first. Don't own it, but from everything I've seen online from a few videos, it appears to suffer from very much the same issue, is that people will get ahead and then they just snowball, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Now, that's just what I've seen, and I still want to get the game to really see if it's like that or not, but I don't know. I think they really need to be careful with their game design to kind of prevent snowballing, especially because it's just so unfun to play against in the game. Come on, a little dip. Oh yeah, hold on. I'll just use the Bible, and that instantly kills Mom.
His mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. "I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else," Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
So that's an Isaac run. I won, which is nice, I guess. I'm not gonna win all of them, I can tell you that. I'll probably lose most, but I'm just making an Isaac video here and there, just kind of ramble on about things. I've got something on my mind. Thank you all for watching, everybody. And hold on, actually, I just want to check something. I thought I did that. Did I not? Did I not take 3 double deals? I thought I did. Oh well. Next time, I guess. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Everybody have a good night, and goodbye.